In the frozen silence of Siberia, where winter is not just a season, but a force that decides who lives and who disappears, the temperature dropped to minus 71 degrees Celsius. At that level of cold, breath turns to ice, wood cracks in the night, and even the strongest creatures struggle to survive. In a small, weathered wooden cabin at the edge of the wilderness lived an elderly woman, her hair white with age, her hands marked by decades of hardship. She had survived many winters, but even she knew that this storm was different. Outside, the wind screamed like a living thing. Snow erased all paths, and the world felt empty and merciless. Then, in the middle of that endless white night, she heard a sound. Soft, weak, almost lost beneath the roar of the storm. A sound that did not belong to the wind. When she opened her door, the cold rushed in like a blade, but what she saw stopped her heart. Lying in the snow was a bear cub, barely moving, its fur stiff with ice, its small body trembling between life and death. In Siberia, bears are symbols of power and danger, but this was no threat. This was a child of the wild, alone, helpless, and freezing. The woman did not hesitate. At an age when many struggle just to keep themselves warm, she stepped forward, lifted the cub into her arms, and carried it inside. Her cabin was simple: wooden walls, a small stove, a flickering fire, but in that moment it became a place of refuge. She wrapped the cub in cloth, held it close, and let the warmth of the fire slowly return life to its frozen body. The cub's breathing was shallow, its eyes barely open, yet it trusted her completely. Outside, the storm continued without mercy, but inside, something rare was happening. Compassion was standing against nature's cruelty. As the hours passed, the cub began to move, to breathe more steadily, to feel warmth again. The woman stayed awake through the night, feeding the fire, listening to the storm, whispering softly as if the cub could understand. She knew the risk she was taking. Helping a wild animal, especially a bear, could be dangerous. But in that moment, fear had no place. All she saw was a life that needed help. This is not a story about heroism shouted to the world. It is a story about quiet courage, about choosing kindness when no one is watching. In one of the coldest places on earth, where survival is never guaranteed, an elderly woman proved that warmth does not only come from fire or shelter, it comes from the human heart. The bear cub survived that night because someone chose to care, because someone refused to turn away. In a land shaped by ice and silence, this simple act became a miracle, and it reminds us of something easy to forget, that even in the harshest conditions, even at the edge of the world, compassion can still change the fate of a life. Sometimes survival begins not with strength, but with mercy.